Today we are going to do a build quality review for Fenix 6 Pro watch. Uh, Garmin has recently launched Fenix 6 range of watches like around 2 months back. In certain countries they are still launching it. I'm not sure they have launched in all the countries wherever they have to launch it. But in certain geographies like America or probably Europe, the consumer laws are pretty strong. So people, if they have bought anything, they can return it within say 14 days, 30 days, 90 days. But in certain other countries, once you have bought it, there is no way to return it. I mean, you can get it repaired, but if you don't like it, it doesn't suit you, you cannot return it. So once it's bought, is bought. So it makes all the more sense for people to have a detailed walkthrough of the watch, which is pretty costly. It ranges from 600 somewhere to 1,000 and even more in dollars. So this is an attempt to give a deeper insight into the build quality of this watch. I have divided this review, this video, into four major areas of this watch. One is the overall material of the build. The second is the screen. The third one is the buttons, and the fourth one is the strap, because I think these are the four things which are making this whole watch, at least at the exterior ends. So let's get started. So let's get started at this black material. So this is the DLC. This is not the DLC coated watch, but rather this is actually the Gorilla Glass watch. And I think the build quality or the build material for this is steel coated with some kind of durable coating, and the screen is actually Gorilla Glass 3. So let's get started with this material first. It's made up of metal for sure. As I said, it's made up of steel. It feels pretty heavy, pretty durable. The coating is not DLC, but it should be durable, although I am seeing some sign of chipping on this end here in just 2 months of usage, even though I'm not able to see that when with naked eyes, but probably somehow camera is capturing that here. So this is like 2 months of usage, and I've really baby my watch. But there has been a few instances where I know got the watch striking against the chair or probably against my desk, but besides that there has not been any specific instance where this watch has been banged. So the good thing about this build is, if you look at these edges, these are quite smooth. So they don't have any sharp edges, at least here, but here the edges are definitely sharp. So I'm expecting that these are the edges, these are the areas, this here and this here, where the most of the banging will happen, or probably these are the area which gets stuck the most. So only time will tell how this watch holds. But in just 2 weeks of or 2 months of usage, I'm seeing quite a bit of paint getting thinner, or probably some kind of whiteness, which is so that is being noted. Now coming to the coating. So coating here has been done in radial fashion. If you can look at the coating, it has been done inside out or probably outside in, but at the back the coating has been done in pretty much the circular fashion. I mean, it doesn't really impact anything, but it's just something that you would note when you have the watch in your hand. Besides that, this watch is pretty heavy. Since it's made up of steel, it's 81 grams, which you can really feel the bulk. It's thinner than its predecessors, so that is a bit of a consolation that once you wear it on your wrist, it looks okay. Another thing to note here is the dimension of the watch. The dimension of the watch from here. Let me focus it a bit. Yeah, so the reason my camera was not able to focus, because I was trying to focus here, and the screen is totally transparent. It's made up of glass. There is no reflection, or very less reflection in most of the situation. It goes almost invisible with certain light angles, and that is the reason why my camera was not able to focus on the screen. I had to make it focus on the edges. So so what I was saying is that even this the dimension of the watch from here to here is 47 mm, and most of the people, they have questioned whether this would look okay on their wrist. But I would say, even if the people are having thin wrist, they should go for this. They can go for this watch, because if this is 47 mm, the distance between these two extremes is hardly 53 mm, which is like all just 6 mm more. So that is not a huge difference between, the size of the watch or the edges and this. And I think a watch looks awkward when the edges, like these edges, are sticking out of the wrist. But since Garmin has probably made this wedges very small, very short, so it doesn't look little odd even on the small. I mean, my wrist is pretty thin when I compare to the most of the people around, and I find this watch comfortable. I mean, it doesn't stick out. I don't get any weird comments that I'm wearing a really huge watch. It really fits perfectly. I mean, I probably think if I'd have bought 6S, that would have looked a bit small on my wrist, probably a bit more girlish. So now going to the second part, which is like buttons. So it comes with 3 buttons on the left and 2 buttons on the right. And people who are aware of the Fenix range, they probably would know that this is how the Fenix buttons are structured. One thing to note here is the buttons on the right, on the left, these buttons here, these are like double click buttons. When I say double click, it means that you have to click them half, and then there is, if you click it more, there will be another click. So it's almost like a DSLR button where you press it half or half press it to focus, and then you fully press it to take the picture. But the button on the right, they are single click ones. And out of these 3 buttons, which I would have believed they should be of the same style or same kind of force should be applied, but I found the middle button to be a bit loose when compared to these outer buttons. But in itself, it's okay. I mean, it's not that it's giving me any issue or problem. But when I compare the sturdiness of this button, I think I have to apply lesser force here than on these 2 buttons. Now let's see what these buttons actually do. So the first button is light. It says here light. The second button is up or menu. The third button is down button. But there is more function that these buttons do than what's written here. For example, if I click on this button, it gives me light. I mean, that it lights up the watch. But if you click it for longer time, it gives me the control menu. Similarly, if I click on this button, it's actually a brother button of this button. So while this brings the menu up, this takes it down. But if I keep pressing it for some seconds more, it will give me menu. Similarly, this button says down, but I think probably this is as per the factory default. If you click this button for a longer time, it will take you to the music. I mean, it's a shortcut for music as well. Now button here, I'm not sure what is so specific about this button, because there are 2 screws that are holding this button in the front, and there are 2 screws which are holding this button from the back. This button should be most important button of the watch, considering that there are 4 screws out of a total of 10 that are supporting or securing this button. This also has a red mark here, and this comes with a red band. But the function of this button basically is to like, it's like an enter button of a keyboard. So if you click on it, whatever screen you are on to, you will go deeper into that screen if there is an option. If you click on this button, it says back and lap. So if you click on this, it will take you one screen back, and during an activity, it will serve as, it will restrict your laps. So if you click on this button, the watch will register one lap, it start another lap. So this is how the button look. One more thing to see here is there are some holes here. This watch comes with a chime function. I mean, you can't take really calls. There is a speaker though, but what it does is it beeps, it chimes, and I think there could be the other holes are for altimeter and barometer, because these sensors are to be exposed to the outside environment to measure the pressure. And I hope this is as waterproof as Garmin mentions. So now coming to the third part of it, which is like the screen, which is probably the most important part of it. Uh, the screen here, uh, I would say at certain angles, I'm not sure this will happen for Sapphire screens or not, but at least for this Gorilla Glass 3 screen, at certain angle it becomes totally transparent. So what it means is that if you are looking at the digits that are, you know, that the watch is displaying, you won't be able to see the screen at all. Probably, and also I have noted one more thing, that the reflection from the screen is probably very less. I believe that there's probably some kind of coating that has been done on top of it that is causing the lesser reflection. But what it does in the real life is that it makes looking at the watch a pleasure, because there is no reflection. What you look, so all the light, it directly passes to the glass, goes to the the letters or the characters on the screen, and then it comes back directly to the eyes. So all the light gets reflected and you're getting a very crystal clear kind of vision. And trust me, it's even better in direct sunlight. You won't even note that there is a glass in between. So I really like the screen. The dimension of the screen is 1.3 inches. Um, in terms of pixel, it's 260 into 260 pixel. And I used to have a Vivo Active 3 music watch, which used to have 240 into 240 pixel. But somehow these just 20 into 20 pixel more has made a lot of difference, and this screen looks really good. This gives me a kind of thought that I could have gone for the 6x version, because it comes with 280 into 280 pixel, and if the difference from 240 into 240 pixel to 260 into 260 pixel is huge, then probably 280 into 280 pixel, it will just look awesome. So far no scratch on the screen, this I can confirm. And I'm getting, I'm trying to reflect some light so that you can see that there's not much scratch. This is some thread over it and my fingerprints, but other than that, this screen looks good. Now the third or the fourth part, which is the band. So band is made up of flexible silicone material, and if you look at the band, it's a combination of trenches and ridges, and there is some pattern in the trenches. It's pretty flexible, and the advantage of this flexible strap is that because this watch is really heavy, so if you're wearing it on your wrist, it kind of wiggle when you're doing any kind of activity. So this strap really helps it secure to the wrist without causing any discomfort. And for most of the running, if you're not moving your hands too too frequently or too fast, the heartbeat or heart rate comes out to be accurate. One thing I have to note is, just like here you will see some paint getting chipped. See, this strap was supposed to last for, or should last for, at least a couple of years. Now if you look at the wear and tear on this watch, this strap here, so in just 2 months of usage, I think the wear and tear is a bit much. I believe it's because of the usage over table, because once anybody is typing, so this is the portion that hits the table, and because of that it's probably getting wear and tear. But it makes me really conscious, because that would mean that probably in another 2 months or 2 or 3 months, there could be a chance that the wear stays extreme and I probably need to change the strap, but only the time will tell. So this is all I have here. One more thing that I want to tell about the strap, probably which you already know. The strap which comes with 6S is a 22 strap. It's a quick fit strap, and it comes with this mechanism here. So if you want to take the strap off, you have to click or pull this lever here. It's just spring loaded, and you can take the strap off like this. Hold on. I don't like to take my strap off quite often, so this is how you can take it off. I'm not sure if anybody would like to change the straps really frequently, because with the black, mostly the black or gray looks good, but at least for me, I will be changing the strap when the strap goes bad. And let me fix this watch again. The underside of the strap is pretty smooth, no textured pattern that I can see here. So yeah, let me know if I have missed anything. I'll be more than happy to do a review of that. For now, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful. Take care. Bye bye.